Alright, so I got a theory. I don't need to be talking into this. Alright, so I got a theory. Hey, what's up guys? So today I wanted to make a video because I was reminded as I was at the gym today that there's something that happens when I eat certain foods, and I kind of have a theory and I wanted to run it by you guys. And basically the theory is this. So do you ever find yourself feeling like you need to look into the mirror and see yourself more often? Or do you notice people that seem to always be looking at themselves in the mirror? I definitely notice that I do this more depending on what I eat, and it makes me think that it's not like an egotistical thing where it's like you're checking yourself out and you're just like, dang, I'm looking hella fresh or hella good. It seems to be more like this state of inflammation in your body, or at least in my body. And I guess I'm going to be pulling from my own experiences, so what I'm saying for me may not necessarily translate to you or be the truth, but I think that this kind of works at a subconscious level, and so you may not think that this is the reason why, but it actually might be. But yeah, so my theory is this, that one reason why people could be looking at themselves in the mirror more, or like just automatically be like, whenever they see a reflection, like they're walking by a glass door outside, or the like a store and it's glass and they're walking by and they're just like looking at themselves like every single time. I feel like the reason is this subconscious need to ground yourself or ground oneself because of a state of maybe not necessarily inflammation, but a state of not feeling as grounded as one could be, which makes me think of inflammation. And I know for me, I notice I'm doing that behavior more when I'm more inflamed, because when I'm inflamed, my bodily sense or my feeling of my own body is not as intact, and so I don't feel as grounded. And so by looking into the mirror or looking into reflection and seeing myself, it's a reminder that I'm here in this space, and it's a way of subconsciously grounding oneself. And that's just like one theory as to why I think people may be doing this. I'm sure that this isn't the only reason. Like, maybe you just think you look good and you like looking at someone who looks good, so maybe that's the truth. But I think one reason potentially why people do that is what I've said, just the state of inflammation where your body is kind of inflamed and you can't feel it as well, and so you just feel you're in a more sympathetic state basically, and so you feel this need to ground yourself in your environment. And I don't know, I just noticed that I do that when I eat certain foods that cause inflammation. Like I eat super strictly usually during the week, but then during the weekends, or sometimes just in general, I just get fed up with having to be so strict, and then I eat whatever the heck I want, and then I get into this inflamed state. And then today, like at the gym, I noticed that I was just automatically looking at myself in the mirror more. And like, obviously you're at the gym, you want to be looking at yourself getting all swole and stuff, but it's like it's a weird thing. It's like I feel anxious about looking at other people and looking into the eyes of other people sometimes, but I want to be looking at myself to ground myself. And I think that also inability to look in people's eyes, that is caused by maybe an inflammatory state that makes you more anxious and less grounded. So if you're not secure in how you feel in space, then someone else looking at you is a very big stimulation, or a very intense stimulus, because there's just a lot of information for your brain to be picking up, because human interaction is so huge for us. And so it's like when you're not feeling grounded, you can't handle as much stimulation. Like I notice that when I'm more inflamed to certain sounds or music or certain things, I move my body more, and I like automatically react, and I'm like moving my body in reaction to things. But I noticed that when I'm less inflamed, my body is more calm and just relaxed and can absorb the stimulation without having to try to react to it. And it reminds me actually of in one of my psychology classes, we talked about, there's a unit where we were talking about the differences between kind of extroverted and introverted babies. And there's this test where when they're very, very young, they put this, like one of those like jangly things in front of them. And the ones who like react like more externally or behaviorally or like with their muscle movements and just this physical reaction, those babies are the ones that are actually more introverted because they're more sensitive to stimulation, and so their body is reacting to more input. But the extroverted babies are the ones that are just like smiling and like, this is great, because they're not feeling overwhelmed by the stimulation. But it's like I noticed that my threshold of input of stimulation is dependent upon the state of inflammation in my body and what I'm eating, which like the inflammation in my body is like has so much to do with what I'm eating. And so when I eat foods that cause me inflammation because my gut isn't healed up all the way, I get these symptoms. And yeah, so I just wanted to talk about it. It's super interesting to me, and I felt like I needed to talk about it because it's on my mind. And yeah, just went to the gym. It's hashtag 2019 year of the booty. And so I'm trying to get my legs to get a little bit bigger. They're kind of small. But yeah, so I think that's it for the video. I wanted to film as I was walking through campus, but my phone died, so I couldn't, and I didn't have any of my lenses with me, and I don't necessarily like talking with people around, even though there's no one on campus, and because there's no school today. And so I was like, ooh, perfect time, but my phone died. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Hope this topic is interesting to you. Let me know what interests you guys, because I kind of want to, there's some other topics that I'm more interested in talking about, like spiritual, religious, like neuroscience, philosophical kind of stuff. And I don't know, like, what are your thoughts about like religion and spirituality and the brain and its effect on our spirituality and our perception of reality and other realities and the spiritual realm? Does the spiritual realm exist, or is it only a creation of our brain? I don't know, like, it's a super interesting topic. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and if you want to get some healthy cookies, links in the description. If you want to check out some cool clothing, like I have some cool, one second. I don't know when the video cut out, so it cut out and stopped recording because apparently it reached a limit, maybe, I don't know, or hopefully it recorded at all. But yeah, so you guys can check out the links in the description for like a juicer, some healthy cookies that are vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free. Also check out the description for links to some of my merchandise. You can get some cool designs on some sweaters for the winter. You can also just check out the description below. It helps me out. If you do buy anything from there, I will get a 27 seconds. I will get a commission for it. And like, you don't have to do it. Like, it's totally cool. I'm just trying to get some income somehow, because right now I don't have a job. I'm just going to school and I'm trying to become financially more independent. That's one of my goals for 2019. So if you could help me out with that, that'd be cool. And you can rep some cool clothing. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching the video. Bye.